In the radiant heights of Lyria Prime, Ambassador Ven Tyrol stood frozen before the emergency transmission array. His normally steady hands quivered as the holographic feed displayed scenes of unimaginable horror, entire colonies obliterated, their once thriving cities reduced to smoldering ash. The Dominion, a shadowy species that had loomed at the edge of explored space for centuries, had at last revealed their true purpose: annihilation. The Lion people had long celebrated their reputation as peaceful pioneers, masters of crystalline engineering and symbiotic architecture that harmonized seamlessly with the ecosystems of their worlds. Their ships, more like sculpted light than machines, drifted like works of art through space. Their cities, living expressions of nature and design, now lay in ruins. The Dominion has pierced the Helios defense line, reported Defense Coordinator. Me, voice tight with alarm. They're biomechanical ships. They consume our vessels and repurpose them into more Dominion constructs. Ven's iridescent scales dulled, reflecting the despair coursing through his body. The Lions had previously observed the Dominion only from a distance, their encounters limited to silent, enigmatic flybys. No one had predicted this sudden, merciless assault. "Activate the distress beacon," Ven commanded, his voice strained. "Contact every known interstellar faction, the Arcadians, the Collective, the Meridian Consortium. Someone must intervene." Replies came quickly but offered little comfort. The Arcadians cited ancient non-interference edicts. The Collective justified their silence as a strategic necessity. The Meridian Consortium, without explanation, severed all communication. Just as hope waned, Me turned from her console with a spark of disbelief. "Ambassador, we've received a response from Earth." Ven's antennae twitched. Earth, a species that had only recently joined the interstellar fold, barely mastering faster than light travel a mere 15 years ago. Though the Lions had monitored them, they had never established contact, deeming humans unpredictable and dangerously emotional. The screen flickered, revealing a human woman clad in a sharply pressed uniform. "This is Admiral Sarah Chun of the 10 of the United Earth Fleet," she stated calmly. "We've received your distress call. Ambassador Tyrol, while our species has not formally met, we have observed the situation. Earth stands ready to assist." Ven's voice faltered. "Admiral Chun, we are grateful, but you must understand. The Dominion's capabilities far exceed anything humanity possesses. Their ships are biomechanical, reactive. Assisting us might spell your extinction." Chun's expression did not waver. "We know the risks. But Earth has faced extinction before. We will not stand idle while another civilization is erased." Before Ven could reply, alerts blared through the command chamber. Me turned, panic-etched, across her crystalline features. "Ambassador, the inner defensive ring has collapsed. The Dominion is approaching the civilian evacuation channels." Chun's voice cut sharply through the noise. "We have no time for formalities. My fleet is inbound. We may be outgunned, but humanity has experience resisting impossible odds. Sometimes resolve is stronger than technology." Ven watched the tactical display, helplessly witnessing his people's graceful ships shattered against the Dominion's. "Advance." With a heavy heart, he made his decision. "Admiral Chun, we accept your aid. But understand this, the Dominion does not conquer. They absorb, they erase, they consume everything. Then we'll make sure they fail," Sarah replied. "Fleet ETA, 6 hours. Hold your ground, and Ambassador ... I'm sorry our first meeting comes during your darkest hour." As the transmission ended, Ven turned to me. "Coordinate with Earth's fleet. Share all data, tactics, technology, anything." "We have." Me hesitated. "The other species still watch. Still refuse to act. Why would humans risk so much for strangers? Ven watched the Earthships appear on scanners, all harsh lines and practical builds, so unlike the Lion's delicate vessels. Perhaps, he said, voice quiet, because the young remember truths the old have forgotten. The next 6 hours would define the fate of Luria Prime aboard the U.East Defiant. Captain Maya Rodriguez stared out at the terrifying sight. The Dominion warships loomed ahead, massive and pulsing with organic malevolence. Their hulls shimmered with eerie bioluminescence, each movement a reminder of their living, adaptive nature. "All hands, battle stations," she commanded, voice steady despite the dread twisting in her stomach. "Engineering, reroute all non-essential. Power to shields." Her crew moved with silent efficiency, but the tension on the bridge was tangible. This was Earth's first major war outside its solar system. And their enemy? One that had already decimated civilizations far older and more advanced. "Captain," called Lieutenant James Chin from Tactical, "we're receiving data from the Lions. Their ships are incredible, but they're being torn apart. Literally consumed on a molecular level." Maya studied the display, watching the Lions fight with disciplined precision and fail. "They're predictable," she murmured. "Structured. Beautiful, but predictable. Time to show them how humans fight." She opened a channel to the fleet. "All ships, this is Rodriguez. The Dominion expects neat formations and standard maneuvers. Disappoint them. Execute Operation Chaos." The Earth fleet scattered, seemingly breaking ranks in a chaotic dance. Dominion. AI struggled to track their erratic vectors. Then, without warning, the Earth ships converged from multiple angles, unleashing synchronized strikes. Unprepared for the unpredictability, several Dominion ships exploded before adapting. But it didn't last. The Dominion learned quickly. Their surfaces pulsed and shifted, forming stronger defenses. "They're adapting," James warned. "Let them," Maya replied. "They evolve through tech. We evolve through desperation." On the Lion command ship, Ven watched. In astonishment. Their tactics. "There's no coordination. No logic. Yet ... it works," Me nodded. "They attack from constantly shifting angles. It keeps the Dominion from stabilizing defenses." For hours, Earth ships fought like cornered animals, clever, erratic, fierce. They took massive losses, but achieved what none before had. They made the Dominion bleed. Maya's ship rocked violently. "Shields at 30%, James reported. "Decks 3 through 5 breached." "But Captain, the Lions, they're copying us." Indeed, the elegant vessels were breaking formation, attacking unpredictably. The two species now fought as one, overwhelming the Dominion with chaos. "All ships," Maya ordered, "fall back to defensive grid Delta. We've bought time for evacuation. Now we protect the corridor." Admiral Chun's voice came through the comm. "Captain, the High Council is safe, but we've lost nearly a third of our fleet, and the Dominion is still coming." "Requesting permission to initiate Phase 2, Maya said. "The Lions say it's suicide," Chun replied. "Then it's a good thing humans never listen to the odds," Maya said. "We're about to show them why you never corner a desperate species." "Permission granted," the Admiral said. "Make them regret this." In the lab aboard the Challenger, Dr. Samira Patel stood surrounded by flickering holograms and buzzing energy fields. Beside her, Lion Chief Scientist Deziril watched a strange hybrid device pulsing erratically. "This is the Chaos Engine," Samira said. "A fusion of your crystal matrices and our quantum instability tech. It generates true randomness." Zyril frowned. "But even chaos has patterns. Eventually. Not this. This disrupts their adaptation loop. It changes too fast." Maya entered the lab, bruised and bloodied. We just lost Ganem. 3,000 civilians barely escaped. Tell me this works. It's untested, Samira warned. May overload everything. We don't have time to test. Do it. As Dominion ships closed in, engineering teams raced to install the Chaos engine into the Challenger's systems. Lights flickered. Consoles sparked. Engines groaned under the unpredictable energy flow. Dominion ships entering range. Tactical reported. Maya gripped her chair. Fire. The Challenger unleashed a blast that defied all logic, random, untraceable. Impossible to counter. Dominion ships, confused by the unpredictability, hesitated. They can't adapt, Zyril whispered. They can't even think, Samira added. We've broken their algorithm. Outside, ships exploded in violent succession. The tide was turning. The Dominion had expected another victim. Instead, they found humanity, a species of chaos, a species that fights like hell when it has nothing left to lose. Anything seen before in space combat, each pulse was unique, carrying random quantum signatures that defy prediction. They watched as the energy struck the lead Dominion ship. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the enemy vessel's hull began to ripple. Erratically, its biological computers tried to adapt shifting defenses rapidly, but each change left it vulnerable to the next. Random pulse within seconds, the ship's adaptive capabilities went into overdrive, trying to counter too many variables at once. Their shields are failing, Samira shouted, watching the data stream. The biological computers, overloading the Dominion ship's hull, suddenly crystallized its adaptive systems. Frozen in mid-transformation, secondary explosions rippled across its surface before it broke apart completely. Send the weapon specifications to all Earth and Leon ships. Maya ordered priority transom. Ship rocked violently, multiple hull breaches. Tactical reported the Chaos engine is overloading her systems. Samir rushed to her console, fingers flying over the controls. The power requirements are too high. We can't maintain this level of output. We don't need to. ZRL said suddenly, his crystalline appendage directly with the ship systems, channeling energy in ways human technology never could. We just need to last long enough to share what we've learned. Maya watched as more Dominion ships approached, even as her own vessel systems began to fail. They had found a weakness, not enough towing the war, but enough to prove the Dominion weren't invincible. More importantly, they had proven that humans and lions working together could achieve what neither could alone. All hands prepare to abandon ship, Maya ordered, but first we're going to make sure our discovery doesn't go to WASP. Plot collision course with the nearest Dominion vessel. Let's see how their biological computers handle a Chaos engine going critical in their face as evacuation alarms blared through the dying ship. Samira looked at her hybrid creation. It wasn't beautiful like Lion technology or perfectly adapted like the Dominions. It was messy, dangerous, and barely controlled, just like humanity itself, and perhaps that was exactly what this war needed. Admiral Sarah Chin stood before the combined Earth-Leon War Council, her holographic form projected simultaneously in command centers across both fleets. The tactical displays behind her showed something unprecedented. Dominion ships in retreat. The Chaos engine technology was just the beginning, she announced. Thanks to Captain Rodriguez's sacrifice, we now know the Dominion's adaptive capabilities can be overwhelmed. But more importantly, we've learned something about ourselves. The room was a stark contrast of styles. Austere human military officers beside luminescent lion leaders, yet after months of fighting together, the differences seemed less important than what united them. The Dominion expected us to fight like the lions, Sarah continued, when we didn't. They expected us to fight like humans instead. We become something new, something they can't predict because it's never existed before. Fleet Commander Trell, his crystalline form shimmering with battle scars, stepped forward. The other races are watching. The Arcadian Empire has reached out unofficially. They're curious about how a primitive species has managed to bloody the Dominion's nose. Let them watch. Sarah replied. Phase 3 begins today. The display shifted to show a new vessel under construction. In Earth's orbital shipyards, it looked like someone had merged a human Dredon with a lion crystal ship, ugly but undeniably powerful, the Use Phoenix. Sarah announced the first true hybrid warship, lion crystal matrices providing power to human weapon systems, your precision targeting linked to our unpredictable attacks, but most importantly, multiple chaos engines were working in concert, controlled by a joint human lion. Crew power requirements are enormous, one of the human engineers pointed out. Even with lion crystal technology, we're pushing the limits of what's possible. Limits exist to be broken. Sarah said that's something we've taught our lion friends, just as they've taught us that precision has its place. The shipper presents everything. The Dominion fears species working together, becoming stronger than the sum of their parts. Council chambers erupted in discussion, but a new alert cut through the noise. A muzzle chambers in the Dominion fleet had been detected, larger than any they'd faced before. Heading toward the combined Earth-1 defense line. They know what we're building, Trell said. They're trying to stop us before the Phoenix is ready. Sarek expression hardened. Then we give them something else to worry about. All ships implement operation Starburst. The battle that followed would be remembered for generations. Burr and Lion ships moved in perfect asymmetry, crystal vessels proving precision fire support, while human ships executed seemingly random attack patterns. Each fleet covered Theater's weaknesses, creating a defense that was both beautiful and terrible to behold. The Dominion attacked with desperate fury, their ships trying to adapt to two different combat style simulantes, but every time their biological computers thought they'd found a pattern, it changed. Human unpredictability merged with lion precision in ways their adaptive algorithms couldn't process. Multiple Dominion ships showing signs of systemic failure. Tactical reported their adaptation protocols are conflicting, causing cascading errors in their biological systems. Sarah watched as the enemy fleet began to break formation for the first time since the war began. They're not just retreating serialized, they're scared. Push the advantage. All ships forward. The combined fleet surged forward, pressing their attack. Lion crystal ships channeled energy to human vessels, allowing them to fire their chaos-enhanced weapons longer than ever before. Human ships provided covering fire, while lion vessels executed precise strikes at newly vulnerable points in Dominion holes. But victory came with a cost. Dozens of ships from both fleets were lost, their sacrifices buying time for others to press the attack. Yet, even in death, human and lion crews fought together, some deliberately overloading their reactors to take enemy ships with them. As the battle reached its peak, a new signal appeared on the tactical display. Ships were arriving, but not Dominion reinforcements. The Arcadian Empire had finally chosen a side. This is High Commander Vex of the Arcadian fleet. A new voice announced it across all channels. We have watched humanity stand with the lions when all others stood aside. We have seen them share technology, sacrifice their lives, and defy impossible odds. The Arcadian Empire stands with Earth, and Laria. Sarah allowed herself a small smile as Arcadian warships joined the fight. The Dominion had sought to prevent cooperation between species, seeing it as a threat to their supremacy. Instead, their actions had catalyzed exactly what they feared most. Phoenix will be ready in 3 days, her engineering chief reported, but Admiral Dominion won't wait that long to strike back. No, Sarah agreed, watching enemy fleet retreat. They won't, but for the first time, we're not just fighting to survive, we're fighting to win, and thanks to Captain Rodriguez and countless others like her, we finally know how the tactical display showed more signals appearing at the edge of sensor range. Other races, inspired by humanity's stand and the Arcadians' decision, were finally choosing sides. The galaxy was waking up, realizing that some battles were worth the cost. The war wasn't over, but something fundamental had changed. The Dominion had built their empire on the assumption that different species could never truly work together. Humanity had proven them wrong, not through superior technology or overwhelming force, but through their willingness to reach across the Davidian species and create something new. The Use Phoenix hung in space like a dream made real, a perfect fusion of human and lion engineering. Its crystalline sections pulsed with energy, while its human-designed weapons arrays hummed with barely contained power on its bridge. Human and lion crew members worked side by side, their differences forgotten, in pursuit of a common goal. Commander Elena Santos, chosen to lead this hybrid vessel, stood at its helm, her second-in-command and strategic Officer Ken monitored the tactical displays showing the massive Dominion armada approaching Earth. They desperate. Ken observed his crystalline form, reflecting the console lights that have committed their entire remaining fleet to this attack. Elena nodded. Fave realized what we represent, not just a military threat, but the end of everything they believe in. Dominion built their empire on the FI idea that species should remain separate, that cooperation makes us weak. We were proving them wrong with every breath we take. The Phoenix wasn't alone behind a fleet unlike any the galaxy had ever seen assembled for battle. Her ships flew alongside. Like Ian crystal vessels, Arcadian dreadnoughts moved in formation with ships from a dozen other species that had finally chosen to stand against the Dominion. Admiral Chenk voice Camathra the command channel. All ships, this is Fleet Command. The Dominion believes they can break our alliance by forcing us to defend Earth. They think under pressure we'll turn on each other. Let's show them how wrong they are. The Dominion fleet emerged from faster than sunlight travel like a biological storm. Thousands of ships, their hulls ring with adaptive armor. Their message was broadcast on all frequencies: surrender Earth, and the rest will be spared. Resist and watch your home world burn. Elena's response was to activate the Phoenix's hybrid systems crystal matrices merged with human technology, creating something entirely new. All hands battle stations, chaos engine systems to full power. Show them what unity really means. Battle for Earth began with a sight that would be remembered for generations. The Phoenix led the charge. Its hybrid weapons releasing bursts of crystal-enhanced chaos energy that tore through Dominion adaptive shields like the were paper behind it. Ships from every allied species followed, each contributing their unique strengths to the fight. Multiple Dominion ships showing critical system failures. Ken reported their biological computers can't process our combined attack patterns. They're trying to retreat. Not this time. Elena said grimly. All ships execute Operation Unity. Show them what happens when the galaxy stands together. The Allied fleet moved as one, implementing battle strategies that merged the best of each species' tactics. Human unpredictability combined with lion precision. Arcadian power merged with the subtle techniques of a dozen other races. The Dominion fleet, designed to adapt to single patterns of attack, found itself overwhelmed by the sheer diversity of its opponents in the midst of battle. Elena received an unexpected signal. Commander Ken called out, weary, detecting massive energy signatures from the Dominion flagship. They're trying to trigger some kind of biological weapon. Not a watch. Enna responded, Phoenix actual to all ships. The enemy flagship is our primary target. Whatever their planning ends now. The Phoenix surged forward, its hybrid systems pushing far beyond their design limits. Crystal matrices cracked under the strain, but held together through lion engineering. Human-designed weapons blazed with power of channeled Thrulian technology. Multiple hull breaches. Someone shouted, we're losing structural integrity. Elena gripped her command chair as the ship shuddered. Route all power to forward weapons. Calculate firing solution for their primary reactor. Commander Ken warned, at this range the blast will destroy us. Elena looked around her. Bridge humans and lions working together, fighting together, maybe dying together. Then Weddy proving everything they feared about unity was true. Fire the Phoenix's final shot was beautiful, a perfect blend of human and lion technology, enhanced by everything they'd learned fighting together. It struck the Dominion flagship's reactor with surgical precision, triggering a chain reaction that ripped the massive ship apart. As the flagship exploded, something unexpected happened. Rather than scatter the remaining Allied ships moved to protect the Phoenix, working together to shield it from the Blastlerian crystal ships. projected energy barriers while human vessels provided physical cover. When the explosion cleared, the Phoenix was damaged but intact, saved by the very unity the Dominion had sought to prevent across the battlefield their maiming. Enemy ships began to power down their weapons. They're surrendering. Ken announced, his voice filled with disbelief. The Dominion, they're actually surrendering. Elena watched as the greatest threat the galaxy had ever known laid down their arms, defeated not by superior technology or overwhelming force, but by the power of different species choosing to stand together. Admiral Chank's voice came through one summer to all ships. Victory confirmed. The Dominion fleet has surrendered. Earth is safe. The galaxy is safe. In the days that followed, as the allied species began the work of rebuilding, something profound became clear. The Dominion's defeat had ushered in a new age, one where cooperation between species wasn't just possible, but essential. The Phoenix became a symbol of this new era. Its scarred hull and hybrid systems stood as testament to what could be achieved when different species chose to work together. More importantly, it reminded the galaxy of the species that had made it all possible, humans, who had the courage to stand up when others stood aside, and the wisdom to know that true comes not from standing alone, but from standing together. As Elena looked out at Earth from her damaged but proud ship, she remembered Captain Rodriguez's last words before the Challenger's sacrifice: the greatest victory isn't destroying your enemy, it's proving them wrong about who you are. Humanity had done exactly that. They had proven that being young didn't mean being weak, that being different didn't mean being divided, and that sometimes the most advanced civilization isn't the one with the best technology. It's the one that remembers what really matters, the courage to stand up for others, the strength to remain united in the face of fear, and the wisdom to know that we are always stronger together than we are alone.